Hello, I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
He played something else.
Yes, he did.
It's all right.
Oh, it's fine. Payback is yeah. And I know exactly what to do. Anyways, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
Yes.
And we have a great show for you.
It's Friday.
You're gonna see a Nimwa worker.
In your dreams, but yes. No, it's not gonna happen.
Why?
It's not going to happen.
Why are you trying to?
If you had worn a sleeveless shirt,
Okay.
then I may have been inspired. No, Darby, doesn't work, Darby.
Doesn't work. It's still sleeveless.
No, it's not. No. Then, but Darby,
Okay. Let's get on. We'll find a way around it.
Okay. Are we going to do 11 minutes today?
No.
Okay.
The newspaper itself is not that huge. But you start.
The
I'll let
newspaper
you
is
start.
quite skinny this morning. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to start this morning. And I'm starting with the Ghanaian Times. Okay, front page, demand for better conditions of service. Don't disrupt academic work. President urges UTAG and stakeholders. Go back to negotiation table. The court orders UTAG and NLC. There's a man in court for rape incest. Government rejects implementation of CRC recommendations. And police recruitment 2021. So other stories, a land guard gets 4 years for selling land belonging to MP. 4 suspects arrested in connection with the death of policewoman. Agenda 111, 8 districts in the Upper East region to benefit from projects. And the WHO has been talking about Ebola. And they're saying other outbreaks surpass COVID-19, risk straining the West African health systems. So on top of COVID-19, there's also the risk of Ebola, which has shown up in Ivory Coast a few days ago. Education Minister inaugurates governing councils of UCC and UEW. And danger looms at Ajay Kojo under the bridge market. So apparently, oh God, as usual, the traders have set up their tables and all of that close to a busy road in the area. And they're struggling, the authorities are struggling to remove the women from where they have been and where they are. The problem and the worry is that if there's any accident or any driver loses control of his vehicle, they're basically in the road, and so yes, there'll be fatalities and there'll be problems. So I'm going to say for their own sake, it's important that they move off the road. But this thing is seen all over. I mean, if you go to Kaneshi, for example, the traders have taken practically half of the road opposite the market. And it's ironic because there's a market on one side, and then there's traders that have taken half of the road on the other side. Anyways, 120,000 received COVID-19 vaccines in 11 hotspot districts. And the census spread, don't disrupt academic work. President urges UTAG and stakeholders. Let me just tell you what the president has been saying. He said yesterday that stakeholders negotiating the conditions of service of the University Teachers Association of Ghana should ensure that their discussions do not disrupt academic work in the universities. And he was happy that members of UTAG had agreed to suspend their strike as they commit to a roadmap to solve their differences. He says in the interest of all that there is no disruption to academic work and that the teachers have the wherewithal to undertake these very important obligations that they have. So said in good faith, I'm sure. But of course, if they don't disrupt academic work, then they don't get heard. And that is their card. I mean, so if you don't want them to disrupt academic work, then basically you should do the needful. Don't get them to the point where they're having to do that. I don't think that's necessarily very fair to them. But anyway, government rejects implementation of CRC recommendation. The Land Ministry has inaugurated 8-member Sakumono Ramsar Sites Restoration Committee. Other stories, stakeholders brainstorm on halting adolescent pregnancy. So stakeholders in the formal and non-formal education of the Ministry of Education met in Accra to brainstorm on halting the alarming adolescent pregnancy rate in the country. So basically, we sat around the table and brainstormed on how to stop children and teenagers from having sex. I don't know what they were able to come up with. Because it's very interesting. We always have such a dilemma when it comes to teenagers and adolescents having sex, because the argument is, do you equip them so that they're having safe sex, or do you prevent them from having sex completely? And we haven't been very successful in prevention.
Yeah.
So are we then going to? And the argument is, if you hand over, a condom, then you're basically saying, hey, go and do it. Exactly. Yeah. But if you don't, then the pregnancy numbers are going up. So it's quite interesting. But the aim of this meeting was to develop, update, and implement modules to tackle, I'm sorry, it's not funny, existing inequalities faced by the youth, especially girls in the non-formal sector. So I guess that, they're also talking about how to equip women, for example, KIA and women who don't have enough money, so that they are not using sex for money. So not for economic purposes. Okay. That will bring down a part of the number. Yeah. So that's also important. But gosh, when you're a teenager, your sex drive though, and we don't, I think now we're different. We're talking to our children a lot more about it. I wonder what it would be like as a parent to have a conversation.
Well, you're talking to a lot more to your kids about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I think it's within a certain class.
Yeah.
So the middle class, some people in the middle class would want to talk a lot more to their children, but there's some who are busy, who are, they're going for funerals and parties.
I have a question for you. Yeah. So let's say your kids, your older one, let's say turns like 18 or whatever, and comes to you and says, Dad, Charlie, these days the urge to fire is strong. How do I handle this? What would your advice be?
I'll tell him.
To skip?
I'll talk to him about condoms if he necessarily has to, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
I guess you're being a realistic parent.
Yeah, I'm being realistic.
Yeah.
Because if he's been that confident to come to me, I should speak to him about that, because otherwise, indeed, I intend to have that conversation with them very soon. Okay,
well, if anybody's watching and Israel's kids, please warn them that their father is about to have a conversation about sex with them.
When they come home.
When they come home, exactly. Yeah. Okay, on page 26 of the Ghanaian Times, intra-African trade fair to create $40 billion worth of trade deals. Ghana, Singapore to create financial trust corridor to boost business support. Financial trust corridor. Okay, FTC. It's a dedicated ecosystem for mutual recognition and closer relationships between businesses, including, I'm sorry, these terms, have they always existed?
Which terms?
Like the financial trust corridor, which is a dedicated ecosystem for mutual recognition and closer relationships between businesses and financial institutions.
Yeah, the terms have always existed.
The financial trust corridor. Yes, we should be building trust corridors. I like that, a trust corridor. Anyway, let's do some sports this morning. Afghan 2021. My defenders will handle Egypt Salah. That's according to Nigeria coach. Arsenal agreed deal with Norway star. Chicago Marathon participants to show proof of vaccination. Lewandowski wants a fresh challenge. Dundee United explore move for Enim Kujo. South Africa names team against Ghana. I'm under no pressure to win AFCON, CK Akono. You are, mate. Like, you really, really are. If you weren't feeling the pressure, we are sending you pressure this morning. We would like to win the AFCON. Like, yeah, okay. Lectureland gives to Black Stars. Hazakas ladies pockets 50,000 Ghana cedis for winning the WAFU competition. And on the back page of the Ghanaian Times, GP Net, AMA FC plants trees to mark World Photography Day. And Minister tasks research institutions to market their products. That's it for the Ghanaian Times this morning.
Okay, let's go to the Daily Graphic. And I intend to do this very quickly. Dagbon celebrates Bungum Festival. Shutdown of public universities averted. NLC, UTAG, and end legal tussle. And cocoa production hits record high. So yields 1,033,000 tons. So Ghana has set a new cocoa production record with 1.033 million tons of beans for the 2020-2021 season. This comes 6 weeks before the season ends, which means the figure could still go a lot higher. And Cocoa Board is also introducing electronic new weighing scales, electronic weighing scales. All right. So, there's this story too on page 5. Lagos bans beggars, hawkers. So the Lagos state government in Nigeria has banned street begging and has formed a special team to stop the menace, local media reports. This team is expected to begin operations in the next few days. A state official in charge of youth and social development told journalists that beggars on the streets were a nuisance to law-abiding citizens. They also indicated that some of them are engaged in crime and all of that. So Lagos is banning this, and they say that job is dehumanizing. Wondering, are we looking at doing something, a similar thing here in Accra, banning beggars and hawkers? That'll be tough.
It'll be tough, but you know that sometimes they are so overwhelming when you're driving. So for example, if you're going to the tunnel, the traffic light there, the American House traffic lights, the Emmanuel Eye Center traffic lights, you know, they kind of just overwhelm your car. They're on your windscreen, they're in your mirrors, they are like, you know, it's so overwhelming. And sometimes at night, it's actually a little bit scary.
Yeah.
You know
at
what
night,
I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
It's scary. And I've come to notice that sometimes when these kids, the kids especially, if they're asking you for something and they're persisting and you refuse to give them anything, they scratch your car.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed that.
So a lot later, I mean, my wife came home one night and said, and I saw that there was a scratch, and she felt that, no, it probably may be. And at that point, you really wouldn't know. You're driving off, so the light turns green, so you're driving off.
And then they just...
Anyway.
Oh, wow.
So, shutdown of public universities averted. Okay. And AstraZeneca's second jab begins next week. That's on page 13. So, the administration of the second shot of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine to the about 400,000 people awaiting their second jab will start by Friday, August 27 this year. Expanded program on immunization manager has said. Okay, that's Dr. Kwame Amponsa Achiano. So, yeah. Those of you who have been waiting for your second jab, now you know it's starting next week. So that's some good news. And the president welcomes suspension of UTAG strike and be tolerant of divergent views, as the NCCA boss Josephine Nkrumah saying that address infrastructure challenges of new regions. That's former President John Mahama. And government completed to early completion of Kumasi Market project. Now, on page 21, 12.8 billion cedis irregularities mar audit of public boards. And it has a photo of Mr. Johnson Siedu, who's the acting auditor general. And then also on the page 21, police exhume body of murdered woman. It says a 65-year-old woman has been murdered on the Asing Intenchemi footpath near Asimbreku in their central region. Police found the butchered two house of Amma Bedria without the head and buried in two shallow graves about 20 levels apart. That's very worrying. You know, we've been talking about how women are facing also, have been the victims of some of these crimes. And here's another one. Okay, so resolve land disputes for additional facilities. Bolga NTC appeals to government. And let's go to page 28. Improve on 2020 WASI performance. Professor Upokwa Mankwa charges school heads. And kissing priest, Father Christmas, pleads for forgiveness.
No, we will not forgive you.
Oh.
Or we will not forgive him.
Well, let's hear from
God.
him.
God can forgive him, but
so,
not us.
Reverend Father Labi, who was the chaplain of the college, has accordingly apologized to the Anglican. Let me come to it. The Anglican priest who kissed 3 female students of the St. Monica's College of Education in Mampong, in the Ashanti region, has rendered an unqualified apology to the church, school, families of the students, and others. Reverend Father Balthazar Obeng Labi, in a statement issued yesterday, said he was sincerely sorry for the incident and asked for forgiveness. I pray for forgiveness from all and sundry, and plead that you hold me in your prayers during this.
We should pray for him. That's all. What are we praying for
May
him?
God bless us all. The statement. Oh, really? He admitted that his actions were wrong and said he should have acted differently, even in the absence of COVID-19. I seem to have taken a number of things for granted. I did not think my behavior through, the statement added. Sir. Okay.
The less I say about this, the better.
Yeah. Illegal betting, match fixing, threats to sports as a GOC president.
No, in fact, I cannot swallow it because I don't understand this apology. I didn't think through my action. What is there to think through?
So he has apologized. If the law has to take its course, it will take its course.
We don't want the apology. He should keep his apology, and the law should take its course, and he should be punished. I mean, you kiss the first one, then the second one, then the third one. And then you're smiling and laughing. You're saying, oh, even in the absence of COVID-19 protocols, you shouldn't have. How did you conceive the thought? That's what I want to ask him. What inspired him to decide that he woke up that morning, God has given you life. You are a man of God. He said, so today I'm going to kiss the girls in the school. Are you mad? Like, who does that?
Inspiration, he was trying to inspire them.
No, it's completely ghastly, and we're so disgusted at
this
this behavior.
It is. All right. On the back page, July 5, fire at Mokola, 3-story building to go down. So the fire service has released that report. In fact, we'll be sharing the report with you on the show, so do stay tuned in. And first dual carriage road in Goso under construction.
Goaso.
All right.
All right, let me do the daily guide this morning. And Kufuor pardons Allotey over vile lies. Nana throws Domelevo jabs. Nana should stop doing that. And Nana Jaisa, it is not nice. After all your proceed on leave, you are still jabbing them out. John Bredu charges on Bagbin. 9.2 million Ghana Cedi street light contract awarded before approval. Oh, interesting one there. Okay. Let me find that story for you. About the thingy being, the contract being awarded. So a contract worth 9.2 million Ghana cedis for the supply of solar-powered street lights went into execution even before an approval was given in 2016. That's the report of the Auditor General on the public accounts of Ghana. So according to the report, by the time the approval was given, about 5,030 units of the solar lights had been supplied without recourse to the procurement law by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Okay, let's do some international stories. Protests against Taliban on Afghanistan's Independence Day. U.S. troops may stay in Afghanistan past the deadline. The villages cut off from help by the Haiti earthquake. And that's the village of Marceline. They've been totally cut off. And so people, you can't even get to them to offer them help. Nigerian city bans beggars and hawkers. And we talked about that a little earlier on. Daring robbers fire at police in the eastern region. Government working on inherited health projects. Bogosu Pristia gold mine set for transformation. Okay, let's do some entertainment. Ooh, I hope our 3rd anniversary leads to 100, and that's Becca and her husband. So musician Becca, you remember she's married to Toby Sunny, Daniel. They celebrated their 3rd wedding anniversary. Such babies. Celebrated their 3rd wedding anniversary on Wednesday, and she couldn't keep quiet about it. She marked the day by sharing special moments on Instagram and revealed how Toby has been taking care of her. She wrote, 3 days ago was my birthday, and we had a little dinner. Woke up, went to work, and then her husband took her to Lagos to celebrate their anniversary. So nice. I hope, yeah, you know, it's nice to see people find love and happiness. So, okay, Patapa.
Patapese, eh?
Yeah, it says learn to spread love. Okay, he's released a new song. It's called Haters. Featuring award-winning songstress Wendy Shea and Twisey. I don't even know, man. Okay, Atu Turkson returns to TV after a 7-year hiatus. He's now the new host on The Breakfast Show on TV Africa. All right, well, welcome back to the business, Atu. Other stories, Ghana share on African trade low. Digital cocoa weighing starts on October 1. Ghana must join global climate campaign. Expert says biological pest control is a better option. Poultry farming, hard work pays. Okay, other stories, all set for Ghana Student Leaders Awards. Let me just say good morning to my friend, what was his name? Kwame, the acting SRC president for University of Ghana, who gave us our award for the day yesterday. Deleterious. Good morning to you, darling. Hope you're okay. On the back page of the Daily Guide, Dundee United target Ghana under 23 star. Afghan player dies from plane fall. Okay, so he fell from a U.S. plane at Kabul airport on Monday. Yeah. You know that they've been trying to evacuate people from there with everything that's going on, and he was getting on the plane and then he fell. Zaki Anwari, and really sad. He was a former captain of the Afghan. Okay, no, so he wasn't the former captain of the Afghan women's football team has urged players to delete social media, erase public identities, and burn their kits for safety's sake now that the country is under Taliban rule. Okay, Happy Man Gala ends on high note, and Coutinho grabs Messi shirt. So Barcelona have communicated to Felipe Coutinho that they view him as an important member of the squad, and have even discussed giving the playmaker the club's coveted number 10 shirt. Now, those are big shoes to fill. If you're coming in and you're going to be wearing Messi's jersey, that's a lot of pressure. So good luck to him, and good luck to Barcelona, who are going to have to do life without Lionel Messi.
Yeah. All right, so the Finder on the front page, cocoa board on target to hit 1.06 million tons, 1.033 million tons recorded already. That's the CEO. And man dies after escaping from COVID-19 center in Sekondi. So essentially says a 55-year-old man, Paulus Okain, met his untimely death whilst trying to escape from the Fienkwanta Regional Hospital COVID-19 center if we are near Sekondi, in the Sekondi Takrady metropolis. So this man apparently was, he said he didn't have COVID. He had been admitted. He said he didn't have COVID. And so he was leaving the center. And the security officials were trying to discourage or stop him from leaving. He threatened them and ran off. Shortly, they found him lying dead.
Oh.
Well, they found him lying in a prone position. They took him, apparently they checked and they realized that he was dead.
He was dead.
So, I mean, some way. Okay, and also in the Finder, Yoko cautions salaried workers against scams. So the Yoko is saying salaried workers that there are scams that are targeting them. They should be wary of those scams. Alleged Nkoko female cop killers remanded, and environmental health workers demand better conditions of service. And then in the center spread, government denies spending 600 million cedis on Agenda 111 before sword cutting, and 48 Engineers Regiment to demolish building gutted by fire at Mokola. That's the AMA boss saying that, and yeah.
Okay, that's it. Right, let's go to myjoyonline.com this morning, check out online stories, and big story on the front.
Kufuor comparing Efiamwa to Demilovo was unnecessary. That's Sulemana Brahima.
I agree, absolutely agree. Other stories.
Acting Auditor General has done what most touted Demilovo couldn't do. That's Kufuor saying that. And then that's Sulemana Brahima saying, no, don't do that. Planting for Food and Jobs program is still our Messiah.
It's still our Messiah, Deputy Food and Agriculture Minister. Mahama says, give special prosecutor a free hand to work. I don't think Akufo-Addo intended to denigrate CSO, that's Kofi Bento. And on bird flu, government to partially compensate affected farmers, that's going to Deputy Food and Agric Minister. Faulty generator, human error, possible cause of fire outbreak at Makula Market. Police on manhunt for armed men who killed 2 persons at Wasajoabo. And the abandoned Commander Sugar Factory, the photos. I was speaking to Vish Ashadbo yesterday, who is with PwC. They're overseeing
transaction advisor.
Yes, please. And he has given us some timeline. So hopefully by the end of the year, the factory should be up and running. More stories on myjoyonline.com. We have a very exciting morning for you. Israel is going to take off his shirts, show us his muscles, flex them, and encourage us to exercise. So
I'd encourage you to exercise.
Life's little pleasures this morning. We're serving you life's little pleasures. So don't go anywhere. We also have Kofi Mole. He'll be joining us in the studio to perform, to sing, and to dance. So we're going to jam to that. Absolutely fantastic. And we're also having that conversation. Whose life is easier, men or women? And you are going to have to pick a side and argue for it. And we'll see what the winner gets. If I win, I know what I want. But anyways.
Really?
Yes. Anyway, don't go anywhere. Muftal is coming up with the sports right after this break.